No, I'm outside right now. I'm undefeated tonight. 2-0. 3, really. Because when niggas see me, they fucking just pulled off. Don't drive off when y'all see me outside. I'm outside right now, nigga. I'm outside right now.
Working on a weekend like usual. Way off in the deep end like usual. Niggas swear they passed us, they doing too much. Haven't done my taxes, I'm too turned up. Virgil got a paddock on my wrist going nuts. Niggas caught me slipping once, okay, so what? Someone hit your block up, I tell you if it was us. Man, a house in Rosewood, this shit too plush. Bitch, this is fame, not clout. I don't even know what that's about, watch your mouth. Baby got an ego twice the size of the crib. I can never tell a shit, it is what it is.
Yeah, it ain't safe outside right now. Don't beat no cars up when you see a nigga sleeping. I'm outside right now.
What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. You already know what it is. Alright, man, so today Eddie Hearn says Tyson Fury and the Dillian Whyte promotion is not going well at the moment. Alright, I'm gonna read the article and let's weigh in on it. Reaper gang shit, let's go. The article is by Charles Brunn. He says, Eddie Hearn says that the Tyson Fury vs. Dillian Whyte promotion isn't going well at the moment for the April 23rd fight, with neither fighter, speaking to the public. Whyte has no obligations to help promote the fight, is what Hearn is saying, and that doesn't sound good at all. Hearn notes that the WBC champion Fury, 31-0, with one draw, 22 KOs, went on media blackout this week, saying he won't be available to talk until May. Fury might need to reconsider this idea if he's going on a media blackout, because he's the only hope to promote this fight. And it's not going to be enough for him to only speak during press conferences. As for Whyte, 28-2 with 19 KOs, Hearn says he's busy training in Portugal, and he's not going to take time away from his important preparation to promote the April 23rd fight. What this means is that there won't be anything heard from either fighter until the press conferences.
No, sir!
Hearn says Whyte has no obligations versus Fury.
No, sir!
He doesn't have obligations to be here, there, or anywhere, said Hearn the seconds out. All he has obligations to do is turn up and fight. And that's all he's training on. I'm sure he'll be at the press conferences when the time is right. It's unclear whether Whyte will choose to speak. He might stay silent at the present. He might stay silent and be present at the press conference, in body only. If Whyte isn't going to speak, it's going to be a real negative. You can only imagine what it'll do for the remainder of Whyte's career.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Will rival promoters want to set up fights with Whyte if they only have concern about whether he'll help promote the fights or not? Or if he's going to pull out, as he did for the Otto Wallen fight? It's bad enough that Whyte isn't well known with the US boxing fans and is viewed as having virtually no chance of winning. Whyte's recent knockout loss to 40-year-old Alexander Povetkin is the image many boxing fans still have about him. They don't give him credit for avenging the loss due to Povetkin having only recently recovered from COVID-19 when they fought their rematch last year. Fury Whyte not promoting their fight. The reaction is that people said he wouldn't sign the contract, and he signed the contract, said Eddie Hearn to IFL TV on Dillian Whyte. He's working hard and he's training. It's not going really well at the moment. We've got one bloke, Fury, on a media blackout, another Whyte not saying anything, said Hearn about the Fury and Whyte not promoting their fight April 23rd, so hopefully we can get a little bit more going closer to the fight, but it's a big fight for both. We've had fights with Dillian Whyte before where he had to do certain things that he hasn't done because it affects his preparation. You have to respect that among fighters. His preparation for this fight is obviously has to be bang on. And he's not obligated to do certain things. So he's going to do what he needs to do to win this fight, said Hearn. Hearn said Dillian Whyte was always going to sign. I don't think he thinks like that. He just laughed at everybody suggesting that he wouldn't fight Tyson Fury, said Hearn about Dillian. There are still issues that have to be sorted out that haven't been made public yet.
How dare you!
But at the same time, he's ready to go. It's not just a case of him not signing the contract and wanting extra money for the press conferences. No, it's a very different situation. For a purse bid to a normal commercial, it's just a very different situation for a purse bid to a normal commercial deal. He's going to be there on fight night, and he's not going to play to everybody else's tune. He'll probably play his mind games as well. But he's there to win a heavyweight world championship. He'll be training hard in Portugal, and he'll be preparing like a true professional, said Hearn about Whyte. Hearn saying that Whyte isn't going to play to everybody else's tune sound like he's pleased that he's not speaking to the media for the biggest fight of his career. That sounds crazy, because this might be it for Whyte. If he gets beaten badly by Fury, who's going to sign to want to fight him? Hearn can obviously match Whyte against Derek Chisora or maybe even Anthony Joshua after he loses to Alexander Usyk again, but he'll be viewed as a faded domestic level fighter at that point. Fury won't fight Whyte again after he beats him, and Usyk isn't going to waste his time giving him a title shot after he beats Anthony Joshua.
Man, this is some bullshit.
What's up, fight fans? Man, Boxing News 24 has got a lot of nerve, or either they're just blatantly going out of way to show you who they're aligned with. And what I mean by that is, just listen to just the bold way he spoke and the confident way he spoke while doing this article. He's already speaking as if, Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua 2 has already happened yet, and speaking like, what's going to happen it's like he knows what's going to happen in the future of boxing.
Bruh.
Like, when you come out of your mouth and you have the audacity to say that Dillian Whyte is just going to lose the fight, you're not doing
Trying to hear that bullshit.
fans or media any favors, because you aren't a mind reader. I don't think you have a crystal ball in front of you that's telling you the future. If you're just going off respective odds, and you need to say, the odds are heavily in Tyson Fury favor, but to come out and say that Anthony Joshua's going to lose his next fight and Dillian Whyte is going to lose his fight coming up with Tyson Fury, man, it just goes to show you how much America is on America's own ball sack. Like, what type of journalist does this? Someone please tell me, because it just blows my mind once again how American journalism acts like, everything revolves around us when it comes to the boxing world. When we would look across the board and you would see that nothing but European fighters are in the freaking top 5 respective rankings.
Come on.
All across the board, So clearly these guys are doing something right, and maybe, according to him, Dillian Whyte's nothing but a domestic level fighter. Well, maybe Dillian Whyte wouldn't seem so domesticated in your eyes if your own heavyweight American champion and Deontay Wilder wouldn't have been straight shit scared of him and froze him out for 2 years. See, we've got to, journalists have to do better when it comes to covering topics, and journalists need to keep their feelings out of it, because that's what it sounds like to me, a bunch of feelings on how you feel as though the landscape of the heavyweight boxing scene may look, or how you feel as though the fight is going to go. But it just shows you the lack of respect, yet and still, for Anthony Joshua and for Dillian Whyte alike. Nobody has ever given these guys respect, no matter what they've done in their heavyweight careers, no matter how short they've been and how much they've literally caught up to their peers in such a short amount of time, and the great things they've done in the short amount of time in their careers. But if I think about American heavyweight boxing, what can I really say to that? Now, Alexander Usyk is a great fighter, yes. He dispatched of Anthony Joshua in the first fight, yes. But I'm not going to come out of my mouth and say he's going to win that fight, nor am I going to come out of my mouth and disrespect Dillian Whyte's skill set or disrespect the matchup and just solely say that Dillian Whyte's just in to lose this fight. See, it's just like, when I hear shit like this or I read stuff like this to you guys, it makes it really, really hard for me to just stay in my lane. really, I'm never gonna stay in my lane.
No, sir!
So you just make it a lot easier for me to do what I love doing, which is calling out the bullshit that you guys like to kick to the media time and time and time again.
Emotional, damn it!
Now you said Dillian Whyte's clearly foolish for not even wanting to focus on the promotional aspect of it, but time and time again you say Tyson Fury is big enough. You guys say Tyson Fury is a big star. Nobody knows who Dillian Whyte is, so how much is it hurting Dillian Whyte to not do any promotion for this fight? Tyson Fury is, you know, the one carrying the whole show on his back. So it shouldn't matter what the fuck Dillian Whyte is doing anyway. And number two, you bring up that once he loses to Tyson Fury, Eddie can stage a domestic match with Derek Chisora or Anthony Joshua once he loses to Usyk, according to what you said. Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte have already fought twice, and Derek Chisora has lost twice. So what public interest could be garnered out of a situation like that? See, that just shows you American boxing doesn't know anything about the world of boxing.
Emotional, damn it!
If you guys wanted to see so much more of Dillian Whyte in this fight, then maybe, you know, you should have focused on Bob Arum, and you should have focused more on Frank Warren and where they respectfully spent their money, since they disrespected Dillian Whyte when it came to his purse, and they disrespected Dillian Whyte when it comes to the WBC interim versus world champions purse of a 55-45 split. Well, that didn't take place because, you know, in the rule book it says if there's an exceptional rule for a certain fighter, then they can get a bigger split. When in all reality, I've shown you guys there isn't really an exceptional rule when it comes to Tyson Fury, because he hasn't really sold anything on American soil and his numbers have done worse since he's been here. But they chose to give all of their money to Tyson Fury and try to pay Dillian Whyte and play Dillian Whyte off like he's just some guy that's just be thankful enough to be in that position, like he didn't work himself into it. So if y'all want to see so much more of Dillian Whyte promoting, then maybe y'all should have put the promotional dollars in his pocket respectfully.
How dare you?
If y'all wanted to see him do such a thing. See, it's funny to me how everyone at first was screaming, sign the contract, pussy, sign the contract, pussy, like Dillian Whyte was scared to face Tyson Fury. Like, boxers don't have to have their legal teams or in their promoters or whoever looks over their career go through that contract with a fine-tooth comb so they can cross their T's and dot their I's. Then he signs. You guys say nobody knows who he is, it's not a fight you want to see, and Tyson Fury is just going to roll over him. Then why aren't you guys using all of this energy or preserving all of your energy, since Tyson Fury is this huge star?
Yeah!
That he can just sell the show.
That was bullshit.
I mean, shouldn't that be the case? Since Tyson Fury is this larger-than-life figure, the biggest thing you guys have seen since Muhammad Ali, right? And get the fuck out of here. Dillian Whyte is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing, focusing on the fight. And if it's so easy, just as you stated, since Dillian Whyte is going to lose this fight, then why aren't you focusing that same attention on Tyson Fury and going in a media blackout when he says this guy is the 6th toughest or 7th toughest opponent he's faced behind Steve fucking Cunningham?
That was bullshit.
Well, that's all I got to say about it. As we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing to pay one-sided biased freaking pundits and journalists no fucking mind. Tell your superstar to do his job. Dillian Whyte's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Remember, 6th or 7th toughest fight.
That was bullshit.
Hey, I guess Tyson shouldn't be on a blackout now, should he? It's a motherfucking boss. Respect.